We're here. We're here. It's our brand new studio.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Tom Barfield Show. Glad to have you with us. I'm Tom. He's Lark. Got a big program lined up for you. Lark, what do you think about the digs, man? This is pretty cool.
I got a lot of new toys to play with here, and hopefully I can play with them properly.
So he'll be flipping the switches, turning the knobs, twisting the buttons, and all that stuff. And if there's a problem, it's on him.
That's right.
Not me. All I do is sit here and talk. Well, we are glad you're with us, and man, we are excited to be in our new facilities. This is what facility number three for scoring at home.
Yeah, something like that.
And if you're not scoring at home, by golly, you should be. And we do welcome you into the program. All right, we are presented. You know what? And I was thinking about this when this was just a thought. This program that we were working on. First person we went to was Gary Hoffman at Toe King, right? And Gary Hoffman says, "I'm in." I said, "But Gary, let me tell you, I'm in." And that was it. And Gary was in. And man, I'm so appreciative of Gary Hoffman and really all of our sponsors. And they've done been such an integral part of what we're doing here. Toe King is 254-666-5484. That's the emergency roadside assistance number. We've asked you on several occasions, and you most of you've done it. Some of you have not, but I need you to put that number in your phone. I hope you never have to dial it. I really do. But if you do, it is 254-666-5484. Family run and operated business. Gary and his family, his team do a great job with outstanding equipment. And you mentioned the other day you saw them. What were they hauling off? A rocket ship or something?
No, it was just a young lady's vehicle that she had some roadside problems apparently, and so she called Toe King, and they were very courteous and took care of her and got her to the place that needed to fix her car.
Good stuff. All right, hey, I think we have a really fun show we're going to talk about today. We got a lot of baseball we're going to talk about. We're going to talk with Midway head baseball coach Eddie Cornblum. He's going to put a bow on the 2026 season. You were there when they played Rockwall. Man, and I watched the first game one of that series. I actually had a night off, and I watched the game. First of all, what a tremendous facility that was in Cleveland. And number two, what a tremendous series it was. I mean, that was two really good teams going at each other.
Absolutely. The first game was won basically in the bottom of the fourth inning when one of the Rockwall kids he was an 8-hole hitter, hit a solo home run, and then they managed to scratch one more run in the inning to end up winning 2-1. And then the nightcap, Midway once again had a lead, and Rockwall comes rolling back. I believe it was the bottom of the fifth inning that they scored 3 runs and just overcame Midway 6-3 in that game. But just a great effort by Midway. I saw some great pitching. I think the first pitcher for Rockwall, Holt, is a Texas commit. The first pitcher for Midway, Brody Potts, is going to be going to Midway. He's a Midway commit, and Midway's got a couple.
Where's he going to school? Where's he committed to?
I'm sorry, MCC. Did I say Midway?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And Logan Prelup and Hudson Pierce, a couple of sophomores. Look like Midway's going to be a force to be reckoned with for at least 2 more years.
Well, that's why it's called a program and not a season. I mean, Eddie's done a job over there building that thing. We'll talk to Eddie about his program and just kind of put a bow on the 2026 season, which, look, it was an unbelievable great run. So, and good for them. They had a good year. We'll talk to him about that. Also on the program, former Midway High School standout, Ty Harrington, who was the head coach for several years, I think 20 plus at Texas State. He's also been a JUCO coach and assistant coach at D1. He's a baseball lifer. I mean, he is.
Aren't we?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And Ty Harrington's going to be on the program a little later on. I don't know if you saw this, but Saturday night, Braxton Ashcraft. This program will officially be the Braxton Ashcraft Watch. Okay?
Okay.
Saturday night, he was tremendous. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, punched out 6, did not walk a batter. Wow. And he beat San Francisco on Saturday night.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's half the battle if you don't beat yourself.
No free bases. He just doesn't give up free bases. And that's kind of and he's lowered his ERA in the MLB. His ERA is under 3. Are you kidding me already? Way to go, Braxton Ashcraft. So good stuff there. Rangers won yesterday. The Cubs hadn't scored in 2 days. What's going on there?
They're the Cubs. What can you say?
Well, I'm telling you, they've been on a tear, though. And then of course the Astros don't score, and that's nothing unusual. They
No.
get beat by the Reds.
Yeah.
Saturday night, I got to tell you this. Saturday night, I was at the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Right. That's such a great event, and I am so honored to be just a small part of the board. But Mike Anderson and Kevin Johnson, who's the AD over at Lorena, they do such a great job, and everybody else on that board does a wonderful job. I just hang out. I mean, I wear the shirt and, eat the chicken fried steak that Sammy and everybody over at George's provides, or whatever we had. Actually, we had beef tenderloin.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a tremendous meal from Sammy and everybody at George's. But you never know who you're going to run into these things. So I look up, and next thing I know, I'm in a conversation with Len Elliott. I mean, he happened to be at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Quan Cosby was there to see Terry Cron inducted. I mean, it's just kind of a fun event. And we had a great event Saturday night at the Herd Center. So there you go. One other quick piece of business for you Baylor baseball fans. The Bears did win a game yesterday. They beat Central Florida after having a rough weekend Friday and Saturday. But it was also a big day. Tice Armstrong broke the home run record, single season home run. He's in his first and only years, a fifth-year senior, transferred in from UTA. Hit 3 grand slams on opening night in his first ever game as a Baylor Bear at Magnolia Field. And in his final game at Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark, he hit a home run that broke the record.
The 2-0 pitch. Swung on and driven deep to left. This one may be it. This one is it. It's the record for Tice Armstrong. Number 22. Move over, Charlie Carter. Make room for Tice Armstrong.
And he's got
It's a 4-2 ball game.
And it's a 4-2 ball game, yeah. So he's got, 4 more opportunities at least. He's got 3 games on the road at Utah this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday up in Salt Lake City, and then on to the Big 12 tournament, either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on what seed they are. If they could be playing on Tuesday evening, or they could be playing on Wednesday, depending on how things fall. Right now, they're 1 game behind BYU, but they hold the tiebreak against BYU. So, and that's what you're shooting for. You'd like to pass BYU and actually not have to play until Wednesday. So,
There you go.
Anyway, later, in fact, the very next batter was Brady Janusek. He's chasing Max Muncy's freshman home run record. Max Muncy, I believe, hit 11 or 12 home runs as a freshman at Baylor, and Janusek is chasing that record. He's the batter right behind Tice Armstrong. So the guy doing the radio broadcast was still pretty jazzed up about the Tice Armstrong home run.
He was?
This is what happened.
Kimball's ready the pitch. Swung on and driven deep to left center field. This one's got a chance. This one is gone. He's done it. He's tied the record. The freshman record of Max Muncy has been tied by Janusek. This is a day to remember.
And it really was. It was a lot of fun. And by the way, audio is courtesy of the Baylor Sports Media Network. And we appreciate those folks for allowing us to borrow the audio and run that for you. But it was a cool day. It really was. And boy, Lark, they had to hang on for dear. And normally when they fall behind, they're really not look, they're better when they play from the front. They just are. When they grab an early lead, they're not bad, and they get things done. But when they fall behind, it just hasn't been one of those years where they've been able to come from behind. Well, they fell behind 4-0, and they just got beat Saturday 19-2, and you're like, here we go again. But you get the 2-run homer from Tyson, a solo shot from Janusek. You're back in the ball game, and you go on and you win. And you had to get a strikeout with the bases loaded at the top of the 9th inning to preserve an 8-7 win. But, I'm telling you, Central Florida was as good as, they came in playing well, and that was as good a team as I've saw all year.
Aren't they sitting like in second in the standings, second or third? Somewhere around there?
I think they're third right now. Kansas and West Virginia played this weekend in Lawrence, and West Virginia swept Kansas at home at Hoagland Ballpark to move to within 1 game of first place. And there's 3 games left for everybody in the conference chase. I thought Kansas had this thing sewed up. They were 20-4 at one point, but now they're 20-7 with 3 to play. But how about West Virginia going in and doing a number on the Jayhawks this weekend? So, and then TCU took 2 out of 3 from the Utes, and we say that because the Bears play the Utes this weekend.
They took 2 out of 3. I got them taking 3 out of 3.
TCU did?
Yeah,
that's what I saw. I'll have to double check that. I thought they took 2 out of 3, but either way, that's the Bears' next opponent. It's coming up this Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday. You're saying, hang on. Normally you play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, because the Big 12 tournament starts in Surprise, Arizona on Tuesday, you move everything up so you can kind of have an extra day of rest and some travel and all that kind of stuff. So this show will actually originate from Salt Lake City, Utah on Thursday and Friday. So keep that in mind.
Where's my plane ticket?
You're not going. You've got things to do here.
Oh, okay.
And so there you go. All right. We're going to get a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk with Midway head baseball coach Eddie Cornblum. We'll do that in just a couple of seconds. You know what? This sounds good. This may be lunch today. Our program is brought to you in part by Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers, 18th and Herring. They're open right now until 4:30, Saturday, 10 until 2. Burgers, fries, tots, onion rings, Texas toothpicks, you name it, they've got it for you. Perry and Dave and the entire team would do a great job. And if you're ever looking for a catering, graduations are coming up and you don't want to cook, you can certainly have them cater. Yes, they'll cater a burger for you, but if you want, filet mignon, they can do that for you as well.
Really?
Yeah, they really do. I saw them preparing turkey dressing one time.
Did they bring Shine back for the filet mignon?
Yeah, you never know. So anyway, it is Double R Old Fashioned Hamburger, 18th and Herring, and tell them we sent you by. We'll take the break. We're right back with more in just a moment.
When disaster strikes, you need a team you can trust. At Benchmark, we specialize in disaster recovery, construction, environmental remediation, and indoor air quality solutions. With over 30 years of experience, our experts provide forensic architecture, engineering, and environmental consulting to ensure every project is handled with precision and care. From damage assessment to full reconstruction, Benchmark delivers technical expertise and an unmatched client experience every step of the way. Visit benchmarkc3.com to learn more.
At Waco Bodyman Company, we help you take control of your health with advanced wellness and longevity solutions designed to help your body perform, recover, and thrive. Experience the power of red light therapy with our full body bed design to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, support skin health, and recharge your body at the cellular level. Step into our hydrotherapy room featuring a dry sauna, polar shower, and hot tub. Book your tour today. Waco Bodyman, open 7 days a week in downtown Waco.
Barfield Show Insurance, an independent agency with over 60 years of experience, wants to wish all moms a happy Mother's Day. Need auto, home, life, or business insurance? Contact Barfield Show today, 469-579-4982.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to CentralTexasCattleBaronsBall.org.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is the company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check him out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Is your roof ready for the next Texas storm? Don't wait for a small leak to become a big problem. Call JK Roofing of Waco. Whether you need roof repair, a full replacement, or a professional inspection, JK Roofing has quality workmanship and dependable service you can count on. Locally owned and committed to protecting Central Texas homes and businesses. Call JK Roofing today for your free estimate and get the job done right the first time. Call JK Roofing 254-744-2211. JK Roofing of Waco. Strong roofs, honest work, and peace of mind.
All right, you're back with us as we roll along here on what is this? This is Monday.
Yeah,
we're
it's
up and running
Monday.
in our brand new studios, and we're excited. All the new toys that Lark has to play with. So anyway, hey, let's welcome into the program the head coach of the Midway Panther baseball program, Coach Eddie Cornblum. Coach, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Let's go back and talk about the series in Cleveland with Rockwall. That was. Man, I got to watch game one. What an unbelievably competitive series between two quality opponents.
Yeah, it was two good teams playing against each other in the second round. They were very matched pretty evenly. So I knew it was going to be close. You know, Barry Rose is a good friend of mine. We talked quite a bit about preparation and how to run programs and about this coaching. And I just knew how he runs his program and how we do ours. And I knew it was going to be what it was, and it could have gone either way.
You know, Eddie, there's coaches have told me this before, and I think it's 100% true. You never know when you're playing for the championship. It could be in round one or it could be in round 5. You just don't know when you're going to play for the title. Do you buy
That's true.
You believe in that?
Oh, totally. Because every series is the next step, right? So you try to do the little things that are going to prepare you to keep moving on, and you got to be really good and you got to be really lucky, and you got to have things fall your way. And I just felt like there were some plays that happened. You know, game one, we're 1-0 going into the 6th. That thing can swing either way. And then, we're 3-3 in the 5th in game 2. And it's sometimes it's about who doesn't really screw it up, and I think we had opportunities to make some plays and we didn't make, and that gave them an advantage. And they make some great plays on defense in the first or second inning. We have bases loaded and we hit a flare to left. The guy lays out with 2 outs and he doesn't catch that ball. We're 2 or 3 runs there. It could be 4 or 5-0 right off the bat.
Talking with Eddie Cornblum, the head coach of the Midway Panthers. Coach, talk a little bit about your program. We were talking before, maybe in the last segment or before we went on the air. This is not a one-off. This is a program that you have built and it is constructed to be successful, and that's kind of where you are with this program. Talk a little bit about how you constructed your program and how things are going.
Well, I think go back 10 years ago, one of the things I was asked to do when he came in here is create a great culture and bring the community into the field. And so one of the things we want to do is integrate everybody from the get-go. When we set up our locker room from the very start, we put freshmen with juniors, and then we put sophomores with seniors, and we integrated everybody. And we want to make sure from the ground up, everybody's doing the exact same thing. The culture's taught from the ground up. We invest in our Little League program, and we're doing a lot of things that I think are going to build, each year we sustain. And there's a lot of coaches we hear, around the state, they'll say, oh, we're not very good this year because we're young. Well, to me, you don't get the recruit. So let's build our program where we're never going to say that. We're just kind of reloading, hopefully, or we're moving guys in position because they've done it for 2 or 3 years already. So we kind of look at it that way, and we coach everybody the same, and we coach them together. And, our freshman program is just as important. We try to do that.
With that in mind, do you set expectation year by year, or is there just one expectation for the program year in and year out?
Well, you look at it different ways. When I'm in Walmart or at HEB and somebody asks me, how are you going to be this year? Well, we're not going to not be good. So I don't coach not to be good. So I want our guys to be successful at all levels. But we, they create their own culture. We bring them together and we say, hey, this is your identity, or this is what we think you should be. But if you were to bring somebody from the outside looking in for the very first time, they've never seen you do anything before, what would you want them to see? Well, they'll come up with words like great work ethic, high energy, great teammate, great in the classroom, whatever their culture is going to be for the year. They create it and they got to live by that, because it could be a one-time shot. Somebody sees us for the very first time. What are they going to see? So we stress that throughout the whole program from the ground up.
Coach, the late, great Darrell Royal said you got to dance with who brung you, and that's kind of what a high school coach has to do. You got to dance with whatever comes into your school district. And I'm wondering just how much the Little League program out in Midway has helped you produce that winning program there at Midway.
Well, it's the best I've ever seen. They do a great job. There's great people involved. It's Midway players running it. We got older brothers with little brothers in the Little League program that we're close with, and I think it's huge. It brings a lot of excitement to baseball in the community. The kids want to play. I think they want to get here, and so if we can tie all of it together, I think it's a win for everybody.
As you take a little time off and then catch your breath and then start off-season type programs, just talk a little bit about your roster moving forward. I know Lark said he was very impressed with a couple of sophomores that you can build your pitching staff around. Just kind of where your roster is right now and how it's constructed moving forward for next season.
Well, obviously, starting on the mound, you can't pitch, you're not going to win. So I think Hudson Pierce and Logan Prellup and Colt Russell and Ty McAllister, all those guys coming back. I think they're going to have some depth, and we're going to be able to be pretty successful there. We got some middle infielders back. I think they're going to be pretty good. Corner outfielder. And we've lost a lot over the last couple of years, but I think some guys moving up from the JV are going to be really good. And I think we'll start in August all over again. We'll start brainstorming here in about 2 weeks about what we need to do for next year, and we'll run with it. I love the off season. There's nothing better than having five or 6 months to prepare for a season, because you can get a lot of things done, from the weight room to, basically the excitement of your program, looking forward to a new year. And the fundamentals of playing the game. And we stress those quite a bit. You can't defend, you can't pitch, you're not going to be very good. So we spend a lot of time in the off season on that. Speaking of defending, I was impressed with your second baseman, Aiden Locke, this year. Is he coming back? He's back. Yeah, he's going to be. He's one of the staples in our program. He's come a long way. He struggled early on, and he's made some great adjustments defensively. He really locked down second base. I guess that's a little pun there, but he's done a good job, and we're excited about him. And he reminds me of our second baseman we had last couple years, and David Lytle. They're kind of in the same mold, but yeah, he's a spark, and he's a good one. I understand that you are at the largest school classification, 6A Division I, and that gives you a lot of players to choose from. But you've got how many JV teams do you have? 2 or 3, even a freshman? 2. You've got a lot of participation out there. Yeah, that's great, right? You want that. You want the numbers, and with numbers, you can kind of weed through and see who can play and who can't, and what you're going to do as far as developing. So we're excited about kids coming up. I know the middle school kids are pretty good, so we have another batch of kids coming up that are going to be very good at this level. And but development is huge. If you can develop the players that you have and get them to buy in what you think your program should be like, and then you think you have a chance.
I was just thinking about that. We see it in football, but I'm going to assume you see it in your baseball program, where you see the little kids that are, I like to call them bleacher creatures, that they're there and they're seeing all the things that you're doing. And, their goal one day is to be a Midway Panther baseball player. And I would imagine you have that with your program now.
Yeah, I think a couple of years ago, we stole from somebody called the Baseball Buddies. And we have 30-something kids that are part of our program. They come up here and they run the bases and they play catch with us. And they, they had team dinner and, they're around us. And then we're down there at the Little Leagues watching the games, the kids play at a high level. And, yeah, I would hope, right? You hope they want to be here. And I think we bring a lot of excitement, and we've been successful. And I think it bleeds down to kids that hopefully want to be a Midway Panther and be a baseball player here. There was a UIL realignment back in February. You've been put into a different district. If you have looked ahead, how do you feel about that new district you're going to be in? Yeah, I like it. Lake Belton's in there. That's going to be a new rivalry, I feel. But, I think you look at yourself before you look at everybody else, and we got to really take care of our business and not worry about really who we play. We always say this a lot: don't play the opponent, play the game. And we have a certain theory of how we're going to run our program and what we're going to do to manufacture runs and do things that are going to make us successful. So, yeah, I'm into playing anybody, but it is exciting to have a couple new teams in our district.
Coach, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much, and thank you for the access that you've given us when we're broadcasting the games from MidwayTV.com. We very much appreciate the information and letting us be a part of this thing, and we wish you continued success.
Well, thank you for having me. Can I ask you one favor before
Sure.
I get off? Ty Harrington's going to be on later today.
Yeah.
Give that guy the hardest interview he's ever had. He's a good friend of mine. I love him.
Yeah.
He's been a good mentor for me.
I'm going to tell him that there's going to be, because Eddie said there's no true or false or multiple choice in this interview.
Yes. That'd be perfect. I love it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. That's Eddie Cornblum. And again, Lark, it's not about a season. It's about a program. I mean, they won a state championship a year ago, have a great run this year. And you know what? They're going to have a great run next year. I mean, that's what he's built over there.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the reason why the Midway School Board went after an Eddie Cornblum from over in Belton. They knew that he was a winner, and that's what they want, is a winning baseball program there at Midway.
All right, so that was Eddie Cornblum. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're going to visit with the former head baseball coach at Texas State. And again, I mentioned that Ty Harrington lifer. He played at Texas. He's coached all over the place. He's, I think, won a national championship at the JUCO level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's done a lot of things. So we'll visit with Ty Harrington coming up in just a couple of minutes right here on the Tom Barfield Show. We are brought to you in part today by Barfield Show Insurance. Hey, if you're needing auto, home, life, or business insurance, and you can get it with Barfield and Sal, and they're an independent agency, so they got different variety of different products that they can shop to get you the highest quality insurance at the lowest possible price. Here's the phone number. It's 469-579-4982. That's 469-579-4982. It's Barfield South Insurance, and we're right back with more in just a moment.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Is your roof ready for the next Texas storm? Don't wait for a small leak to become a big problem. Call JK Roofing of Waco. Whether you need roof repair, a full replacement, or a professional inspection, JK Roofing has quality workmanship and dependable service you can count on. Locally owned and committed to protecting Central Texas homes and businesses. Call JK Roofing today for your free estimate and get the job done right the first time. Call JK Roofing 254-744-2211. JK Roofing of Waco. Strong roofs, honest work, and peace of mind.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org. Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatments, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
All right, you're back with us as we roll along here on this Monday. Glad to have you with us here on the program. Let's welcome into the show Ty Harrington. Ty, good morning. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. Can you guys hear me?
Hear you just fine. Appreciate you being with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Ty, where were you this weekend? I know you were at some kind of baseball game. Where were you this weekend?
No, actually, I had a rare weekend off. My daughter, I have a senior in high school, too. I have 3 daughters, but one of them's a senior at Nebraska High School. So we had a graduation party. That's not to say that I didn't, after the graduation party, find myself parked on the couch watching a lot of games afterwards. The timing of them were great because they were afternoon games. And then the Texas game was later on Saturday. Texas State game was even later on Saturday. There was a lot of baseball in between here and there. And then it was almost push the button replay on Sunday with the games getting started at 11, with Texas getting cranked up at 11. So a lot of baseball. No, I didn't do a game, but I witnessed a lot of games. Let's just say that. My quad box was on fire.
And I'm curious. I saw an interview that you did probably just a couple of days after you announced your retirement. You were being interviewed by a young lady. Reflect back, if you will, on your time at Texas State in that 20-plus year career that you had there, and that very successful career that you had there in that beautiful ballpark. I know that that's really special to you and very important to you.
Yeah, it was a tremendous piece of my life and an enormous part of my life. The funny story was I really hadn't convinced myself I was going to take the job. Jim Wacker, longtime football coach, famous football coach, unbelievable person, by the way, the most convincing persons I've been around in a long time. And didn't know I was going to take the job. I had a great job at Blinn. I knew we were going to win or have an opportunity to win a national title. In junior college, we had the draft and follow was different. We had, I think, 14 drafted kids in my first recruiting class at Blinn. So things were different. And then my dad was sitting across the table from me when Coach Wacker called, and I had some really hesitation. I just remember him saying, "Son, you always wanted to be a Division I coach. You may not get that chance again. Go do it." And he goes, "Go work at it. You'll make it a better place." And we did. And when we got there, the old ballpark, you remember, it was bleachers, real tall bleachers with a glorified deer blind at the top. And it was just, the playing surface wasn't good. The fence was particle board, so the balls could go through the fence. We'd had balls go through. We had our center fielder. One time, you guys may recognize the name. He's a football coach, Jason Washington, ran through the center field wall one time, left his silhouette in the middle of it. So there was a lot of things that evolved and changed over time. And then as success started to come around, we had 2 student body residents that were really helpful in getting the new ballpark fixed or built. They were very influential in it. And so when we built the new park in 2009, things really started to change for us. Look, it's important. People can say what they want. Well, ballparks don't matter. Resources don't matter. That's not true at all. It does. Players you want to drive a Mercedes, you want to drive a 72 Chevy. And so there's a difference. And for kids, they wanted to play in nice facilities. And so when they improved it, it changed our world, quite a bit. The first 7 years I was operating with 1 full-time assistant coach. That was it. And we had some GAs along the way, and they were great, unbelievable. They worked as hard as anybody that would have been full salary, but you couldn't expect, 24/7. And so it all grew, and the place became, I fell in love with the place. I had multiple times to leave and just couldn't convince myself to do it. But over time, it ran its course. There were different things that I didn't see eye to eye with, with their administration about different things. That was their choice. That was mine. And then my life was changing on a personal level as well. And some things were, moving, but really and truly, if you're a college coach and you're somewhere 20 years, and we had just won the Sun Belt regular season championship for the first time. I think it was the first men's title of any sort. And, that 20 years is a long time. And so if I was going to make a move, timing was great. I love the place. The administration now is unreal. There's so much to be excited about Texas State. Kelly Danfouse, the president, he's amazing. Don Coryell, who was an assistant AD when I was there and a good friend, he's done an amazing job from an AD's position too. So all the things that everybody thought about Texas State 20 years ago that it could be is becoming, but it took a lot of work from a lot of other people to get it to this space in time.
Ty, you won as a player. You won as an assistant coach. You won as a junior college coach. You won as a Division I coach. Is there one season? Is there one segment in your career that you look back and go, "Yeah, this is the pinnacle. This is it"?
Yeah, there were a couple of times. I just revisited one of them last weekend. We were in Mount Pleasant, Texas, for the very first time, the 1996 Junior College National Championship, Northeast Texas Community College, who, by the way, will be playing blend this week in the Super Regionals of the Junior College to see who goes to Grand Junction. We won the national title in 96. There was a lot to that. We had a 30-year reunion last weekend in Mount Pleasant. I can't thank the group from Northeast enough for putting it together, what they did for our team with a monument out front and, celebrating that championship team. It was not celebrated for a long time. It's hard to explain to everybody, but when I got there, we won it my second year there, and baseball wasn't important there. They were coming off of being on probation, nothing that we had to do with whatsoever. We walked into that. So there was people really on campus didn't appreciate what that group did. And so it was an uphill battle. It was one of the most diverse teams I've ever coached in my life. Taught me more about life, people, needs, my needs, but more importantly, their needs and what was important for them as people in their life and moving forward. It was the greatest learning experience. One of the true challenges for all of us, because it really, truly, we hear people say this all the time, it was us against the world. It was. We were fighting even at times our own administration about what could be next and what should be next for the baseball program. And it just, to me, it was an all-out, to challenge to get to win a championship with a group. We had guys from New York. We had guys from Texas. We had guys from Colorado. We had guys from all over the world. It was truly one of the most diverse moments in my life, but truly an unbelievable experience. We had high draft picks. We had guys that were just trying to hang on and play the baseball again, and they happened to choose Mount Pleasant, Texas to do it. So that was probably the more gratifying. And a lot of that's to do with just because we just won a national title, and we just celebrated it last weekend too, a long time coming. And then there have been several, conference championships and even non-conference championships at Texas State that were important in our success, and that'll always hold a special place in my heart. Those people involved with it, because what you see, I mentioned, Tom, what you see today, those guys help build the possibility and the probability of what people are getting to experience at Texas State today.
Ty, you may agree or disagree, but I tell people all the time, I believe the care factor for the Junior College World Series in Grand Junction is equal to the College World Series in Omaha. I truly believe that. It's
just at a smaller level.
Yeah.
Attendance wise and marketing, and TV wise. I'm fond of Omaha, Nebraska. I went 4 times as a player and a coach. It'll always be a special place for me. I still go back when I can, but Grand Junction, where I was in my age at that time, and they treat that thing, it's unbelievable. You're playing in front of 10,000, 15,000 a night. The town is absorbed with that 10 days. You can't walk around that town and people not ask you for your autograph or not want to meet you. They embrace it so much. I mean, it is truly one of the coolest, most exciting, celebrated events I've ever experienced. And at a smaller level, but it was so personal. Like it was, they were right there and they were rooting for you. Like I remember one of the best players I've ever coached was Roberto Vaz, who ended up playing at Alabama. It was a Golden Spikes, and I'm a runner-up to Tim Hudson later on from when he went to Alabama. And I remember looking over, we win the semifinal game to get to the championship game. By this time, it was like our fourth or fifth game. And I look over, and he's got 30 people surrounding him wanting autographs and cameras and microphones. This young man was from New York. He'd never seen anything like that in his life. And I remember just looking over kind of, with a little bit of a grin. I was young and young and dumb. And I looked over at him and I just went, I don't know that he'll ever have this again. This is truly remarkable. And he did later on in his career. But for this moment in that time, it's a special place. If you've never been, carve out 10 days. It's worth it. You've been, I know McClendon goes back, often. And you've been there many times. It is a special, special place.
I can tell you as a person who's been there at least 5 times that I would much rather go to Grand Junction than Omaha, simply because I was not necessarily a participant who had to go to practice and get things ready for the next game and all that. I could enjoy the outdoors around Grand Junction. You go 30 miles, 45 miles to the east, and you're up on top of the world's largest flat top mountain, the Grand Mesa. There's 10,000 lakes up there to fish in. Sometimes it's still got snow on it. You go 45 miles to the west into the Utah desert. There's a road that goes down through what I call basically a Grand Canyon. I'm not even sure what river. I think it's the Colorado River, down to Moab. And it's like driving through the Grand Canyon. Just some of the outdoor things to do there just makes it such a great trip compared to Omaha for me. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm with you. If they've never been there, it's an event you need to take in.
Yeah, it's an intimate event. And what I mean by that, we got there, we were told we needed to go speak at these schools, at these elementary schools. It was a blessing to watch my players and what they did and how they spoke and how they shined and how embraced they were to that moment. And so it's at a smaller scale than Omaha. There are some crazy fun things to do, as you mentioned. I did not get to experience those. The only thing I experienced, believe it or not, was a barbershop. And my whole time there and the ballpark. I fell in love with the ballpark and the people that ran the tournament. And I would go up when we weren't playing, and I would just sit in there and watch games all day. And I just, it was baseball was 24/7 for me at that time in my life. I just had my first daughter at the time. She might've been 6 months old, maybe. And so I didn't get to experience as much of it. If I go back, I'll go back one of these days and I'll get a chance to watch it and I'll get to explore some more of it.
Let's talk about today's college baseball. And you know where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the NIL and I'm going to go to the portal. How has that changed the game? Do you like the fact that we have that? And first of all, I don't believe it's NIL. Excuse me. I think it's a salary. I mean, we're not doing name, image, and likeness, Ty, in my opinion. I think we're paying players to pay. Paying players to play, and I don't know where are we in your estimation in college baseball right now?
Well, I'm probably middle of the road on this for multiple reasons, because I'm going to contradict myself a little bit when I say a couple things. One, baseball was 11.7 scholarships forever. Well, it was 15 when I was in college in the 80s, and it went to 11.7, and that's not very much scholarship money. You're asking parents and families to pay a lot of money for kids to go play college baseball, and a lot of the other sports were full scholarship sports. So I like the idea that there is an opportunity, which there is now, for these guys to have full scholarships, depending on if your school, how many they want to fund or conference, allows. And so I think once they have the ability to get full scholarships, because people would say all the time, Tom, they were, they say, well, a guy's got a scholarship, that's enough. Well, he was on a book scholarship, or he was on a tuition scholarship, $3,500 a semester, and it was $40,000 to go to school. So to me, there needed to be some assistance and some help for baseball programs and players and families. So did it go beyond what everybody thought it was going to? Probably so. Again, I think they thought that they were going to, open this bottle up, and I'm convinced the NCAA just said, okay, you guys go do what you want, and then you'll come running back to us. I blame the NCAA. They could have started a process of easing into this and incrementally making, doing the right thing. And for these young athletes that we're making schools a lot of money. You can't always quantify the amount, but when you talk about marketing, here we are talking about it. Here we are talking about college athletics. And it's one of the most popular things on, out there at this point. And I do think they needed to be compensated for it, because it was, the use of their abilities and their excitement, and that was creating a lot of this. Is there a space for certain things? Probably so. What does that look like? They're not asking me. And when they do, I would, certainly have a discussion, would love to sit down and talk about what the reality is. And NIL, I agree with. Tom, if somebody's using your and you guys' names on y'all's show and promoting it, you expect to get compensated for it. And I felt like the athletes felt the same way. Did they take, if you give coaches a foot, they're going to take a yard. It's the competitive world, right? We're taught to win, and we got to do, we push the envelope nonstop as coaches to win. And so I think there is a space in there that they could come up with for true NIL, for it to be monitored, to be done. Sky's the limit, in my opinion. If you're that marketable, I think you should be rewarded. Your family should be rewarded for it. Is there a space and time in there for the compensation that there needs to be a limit? That can be discussed. It certainly could be that, that can keep a certain amount of it fair for most programs.
Ty, let's talk about technology in college baseball. We have the pitch clock, and we have the review. And I honestly, I'm okay. Well, I don't like the review. Let's just be honest. But if we're going to have it, I like to see a time clock put on it, maybe 3 minutes for the umpires to go take a look. But now the SEC is going to use the ABS system. Just your thoughts on how the game is transitioned there with these new elements.
Okay, so you must have heard of that. I've been bombarded with this over the last week. I made the comment about 2 weeks ago on a show that I'm for it, for ABS. I'm for replay. I want to get the call right. Okay. You guys have seen it before. You know this to be true. There's emotion out there on the field, sometimes between coaches and umpires. There's moments between umpires that create their emotions, and sometimes it just doesn't get right. It's just not right. And you want to get the right call. The time of it, the amount of time it takes. I know, I'm not sure in the Big 12, but I know in the SEC, the Hawkeye version of it is so fast and so efficient on replays. Minute, 2 minutes, something like that. Doesn't take very long. Some of the other replays, it doesn't have the technology, may not be what you want it to be to make the right calls soon enough, but it is helpful. Again, coaches want it right. I go back to this, and if you watch Brian O'Connor 2 weeks ago, got ejected in Austin. And Brian's a tremendous, does not get thrown out of many games, right? He does not. It was a questionable call. Carson Tinney did a great job of dragging the pitch back around, but it was not a strike. I'm sure arguably Texas fans get mad at me when I say that. I didn't think it was a strike. They called strike 3, ended the inning. I think and he went out to argue, and he got thrown out. Now, that is our job. That when we go to work, when people say 9 to 5, that is our 9 to 5. That is our place. That is our being. That is where we are supposed to be that day. So to have an opportunity to clear out some of that discussion and to clear out some of that, people being grumpy, I think it's important to do it. The SEC is going to do the ABS and the SEC tournaments by design. There you get a chance to market it, see how it goes, see what the fans think, see the timing of it. There'll be more eyes on the SEC tournament than any other time of the year for that much, and they'll get a chance to see it. Yes, I agree with that. Replay, yes, I agree with that. I think that what you're seeing is the same distance in game timing-wise as there was when we didn't have the speed-up rules. We didn't have the pitch clock. It's the same, and I'm going to tell you why it's the same now, because you have to throw strikes. You have to throw real strikes, and that has changed. That idea of being able to throw balls this far off the plate and get them called strikes is gone because of TrackMan and the technology. To your point, technology has made this an offensive game because you now have to throw the ball across the plate because the umpires are graded on TrackMan. And so all of a sudden, what was we thought was going to save time with the pitch comms and all that really the games are probably similar in timing. And so technology has changed it to clear it up, to clean it up. In my mind, I like the idea of having umpires out there. I always want the subjective piece of the game to exist, but I also think that if it's strike three or ball four in a big moment or play at the plate to get the play right, there's a way to do it that it goes hand in hand, that we all get what we want. I don't want the game completely done away with umpires. I'm not saying that. And I believe this too. I do believe that the really good umpires like the idea of having it. To clear it up too, because they want to get it right.
Visiting with Ty Harrington. Ty, we've kept you a little longer than we promised we would, but you know what? It's just great catching up with you. What are you doing now? Tell us a little bit about what Ty Harrington's up to on this Monday morning.
Yeah, so I work for a group called Marsh McLennan. We're a commercial insurance agency, the largest in the world, actually the largest in the country, and spent a lot of time in public entity space and also in some construction as well. But man, it's a fabulous company. I mean, it's got every tool and everything that we need to be successful and for our clients to be successful in their coverages and everything that goes with it and the communication. We have so many ways to risk solutions to help people. It's been unbelievable. Well-run company, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a learning curve at my age. I've been with them for a year, and it's been privileged. You can teach an old dog new tricks, and so I'm out to prove that it's real. And so it's been great. I spent a lot of time partnering with Quan Cosby, who you guys all are going to know. Quan and I spent a lot of time together, see each other often, and in the office, and he was instrumental in bringing me into it. And so we have a lot of fun. We spent a lot of time talking about the Waco area, 254 area bunch. And we have a lot of old memories and a lot of acquaintances. I go back to Waco often. One of my teammates and one of my best friends, Todd Haney, still lives there. My sister, Leah, moved back years ago, and she moved into Robinson. So I've got every reason to go back. Pat Curry, as you guys know, state rep's a great friend of mine. So I'd love going back. I'll move back to Waco at some point in my life. I don't know when for sure, but it'll happen. I miss it. Never thought I'd say that in my lifetime. And it has changed dramatically as you guys get to experience on a regular basis.
We just had Eddie Cornblum on the program, and he said, do not lay off of you to come hammering down on you. And I said, I told us we had to do true and false and multiple choice.
He said what now? I
said, Ty, I told him that you said that we had to do true and false and multiple choice on the interview.
Well, let me tell you something. We're fortunate. The greatest high school in America is very lucky. We've got one of the top high school coaches and baseball coaches that you're going to find. Y'all know that too. Eddie is a tremendous baseball mind. He craves knowledge. Like he and I spent time after the state championship. I was scheduled to do the game on TV, and then I got pulled into an event that I just had to go to. I couldn't pass it up from a work perspective. And Eddie and I spent some time leading up to the playoffs and then afterwards. And it was so fun to listen to him after they'd won a state championship, months after they won a state championship, him talk about how do we make it better? How do we do it again? Wasn't complacent, wasn't satisfied. That is a winner. When you're not satisfied, that's a winner. And we're fortunate at Midway, and I use we because I'm a very proud graduate and always have been and always will continue to be. And we're fortunate to have him as our baseball coach.
Which I know you know what Lark and I both think of you and the respect we have for you, and appreciate your friendship and appreciate you doing this today. I know you're busy and you popped on with us, and we're very much appreciative of it.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. Look, anytime it's got to do with, baseball, I love to talk about it. And it's a sport that is college baseball has grown. You guys know this. We're the benefactor of it. Going back to the 80s when you would hear the ping of an aluminum bat on the ESPN for the very first time. Mm-hmm. And it was just this, I think it resonated with people. It was different than professional baseball. No credit to pro ball. It was different. And now you watch what streaming has done, TV has done, radio has done, podcasts have done. The interest is just, it's at an all-time fever pitch for college baseball. And we're seeing the benefit of it. The quality of the game, and I will say this, reluctant because I was in the 80s at play. The game of college baseball is better than it's ever been. The players are older. The game is cleaner. The information, the data you brought up earlier, there's so many things about college baseball that we are getting to see as a game. The innocence still there. The screw-ups are still there. It's just a little more minimal, but it is a really much more powerful physical game than what we played in the 80s, and it is fun to watch. It really is. I mean, I look out when I do a game, and I'll look out at the crowd, and I'll watch the energy in the ballparks, the interest in the ballpark. People aren't there just looking around, whether it's male, female, kid, teenager, fan, rabid fan, whatever it is, and you look at their engagement in the game is unreal, and then the numbers show it. When you start looking at the TV numbers and the streaming numbers and the radio, it shows the interest in this great game, and it's just going to continue to go. I think it's on a heater right now, and I think it just keeps right on rolling.
Well, you're talking to two guys that love it. And it was good to see you, by the way, the other day. And by the way, I did run into Quan Cosby Saturday night at the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremonies in Waco. And so it's that small world thing, man. Really cool. Hey,
baseball, don't forget, baseball's a big, small world.
It is. It is indeed. Hey, great to catch up with you, my friend.
Thank you guys. Appreciate your friendship.
Talk to you soon. That's Ty Harrington. He's a lifer. I mean, he's just a baseball guy, right, Larry?
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Hey, we're brought to you in part by Lake Waco Golf, a semi-private golf club. It's nestled over on the north side of the lake, and if you would like to play there, you better get you a tee time now for this weekend. They're heating up. 254-756-2161, 254-756-2161, LakeWacoGC.com. You can check them out there. You can check out the great bar and grill. You can check out the new. I wouldn't call it new, but I mean they've kind of refurbished the swimming pool area. I mean, it's really a great place, and it's time for you to check it out today. 254-756-2161. It's Lake Waco Golf Club.
Shopping for insurance shouldn't feel like a guessing game or a root canal. At Barfield Show Insurance Group, a division of TWFG, we make it easy and maybe even a little fun. Need auto, home, life, or business insurance? We've got you covered. Literally. We work with multiple top-rated companies to find the right fit for you, so you get great coverage at a price that won't make you wince. Because our goal is simple: the highest quality insurance at lowest price possible. Call Barfield Show Insurance Group today at 469-579-4982 for your free quote. Better coverage, better rates, better call.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at LakeWacoGC.com for more information.
At Waco Bodyman Company, we help you take control of your health with advanced wellness and longevity solutions designed to help your body perform, recover, and thrive. Experience the power of red light therapy with our full body bed design to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, support skin health, and recharge your body at the cellular level. Step into our hydrotherapy room featuring a dry sauna, polar shower, and hot tub. Book your tour today. Waco Bodyman, open 7 days a week in downtown Waco.
When disaster strikes, you need a team you can trust. At Benchmark, we specialize in disaster recovery, construction, environmental remediation, and indoor air quality solutions. With over 30 years of experience, our experts provide forensic architecture, engineering, and environmental consulting to ensure every project is handled with precision and care. From damage assessment to full reconstruction, Benchmark delivers technical expertise and an unmatched client experience every step of the way. Visit benchmarkc3.com to learn more.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatments, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
This year, I made a New Year's resolution. I want every business to own a new copier from CTWP. Call me, Leroy the Copier Dog. Let's get you a copier delivered today. CTWP, your local copier company.
All right, welcome back to the program. It is a Monday edition of the show, and we got a lot of high school baseball, softball, junior college baseball, and softball coming up this week. Lark, let us know what's going on.
All right. It's that time of year when we got a lot of playoffs going on. The junior college playoffs have already gotten underway in the baseball. They're about to get underway in softball. The baseball in Region 5 is to the super regional level. It's a 4-team event that's going to be held at Weatherford, and McLennan is part of that. They get the host Weatherford Coyotes at noon on Wednesday in the first round. The other two teams there, they're from the western region of Region 5. That's Midland and Howard. Howard knocked out the number 1 seed from the north, Grayson. So it should be a pretty interesting tournament there in Weatherford. On the softball side, MCC finished second in the conference, and by doing that, they're going to end up playing out in Odessa, but they also avoid Temple, who swept them during the year. So anyway, Odessa is hosting the one Region 5. I think that's called Region 5A. They're playing Weatherford at 2:30 on Wednesday. MCC is playing Western Texas at noon on Wednesday. That's a 4-team double elimination tournament. The winner goes to the Softball World Series, which is in Oxford, Alabama. The other Region 5 tournament, which is Region 5B, Temple is hosting that. They take on Phillips in the first round. Midland and Grayson, the other two teams there, and the winner there also ends up in Alabama. The MCC Highlanders, they are, we've already talked about that. Let's go to high school softball. Midway Panthers continue to play. They take on Grand Oaks this week in a best-of-3 starting Thursday at A&M Consolidated. Lake Belton was knocked out by Walnut Grove, so Walnut Grove will take on Melissa next. Belton also knocked out by Hallsville. They'll go up against Midlothian Heritage next. Robinson was taken out by Liberty. Salado is the next opponent for Liberty. Bosqueville, though, continues on in the postseason in softball after taking 2 from Alvord. They get Honeygrove next because Honeygrove won that one-game playoff with Axtell 7-3. And then you've got Crawford. They were defeated by Munster. They took it to 3 games, but Munster won game 1 and game 3. So Munster travels on in the softball playoffs. In high school baseball, in the area around, Midway knocked out by Rockwall, so Rockwall gets Grand Oaks next. Lake Belton continues on in 5A Division 1. They're going to play Melissa Thursday at Red Oak, the first of 3 games. China Spring, they demolished Fort Bend Crawford 11-1 and 11-1 in 2 games. So they'll get Bullard next starting on Thursday in Forney. Gatesville needed 3 games, but they took care of Belleville. Next up for the Hornets is Huffman Hargrave. They're going to play Thursday in Caldwell to start that series. Robinson took 2 from Katie Freeman. Lutkin Hudson is next. They're going to play that in Huntsville High School. Then you have Troy knocked off by Academy. Academy takes on Huntington next. That'll start Thursday in Navasota. Groesbeck knocked off by Grandview. Grandview's next opponent is Orangefield. They'll start Thursday in Waller. The West Trojans won the first game but lost the next two to Rogers. So Rogers advances to play East Bernard. They're going to start that Friday in Bastrop. Bosqueville took care of Axtell. They're going to take on Cooper next. They're going to play Thursday at that very nice field on the campus of Duncanville High School. Rio Vista took care of Hamilton in 2 straight. They get Tom Bean starting Thursday at Denton Ryan. Crawford continues on after they swept Mart. Their next action will be against Collinsville starting Thursday at Godley. Valley Mills took game 1 and game 3 against Dawson. Munster is their next opponent. And Oglesby 1-2 from Abbott. So Oglesby gets Gordon next. And that's pretty much what's going on in playoff softball and baseball, Tom. All
right, Lark, thanks so much. Our program today is brought to you in part by JK Roofing. You can check out JK Roofing at jkroofs.com, 254-744-2211. 254-744-2211 is that phone number. JK Roofs. Thanks to Jason, Katie Embry for being a great part of the program. We'll take a break and we will come back and look ahead to the Tuesday edition of the program. We do that next here on the Tom Barfield Show.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is the company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
At Waco Bodyman Company, we help you take control of your health with advanced wellness and longevity solutions designed to help your body perform, recover, and thrive. Experience the power of red light therapy with our full body bed design to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, support skin health, and recharge your body at the cellular level. Step into our hydrotherapy room featuring a dry sauna, polar shower, and hot tub. Book your tour today. Waco Bodyman, open 7 days a week in downtown Waco.
When disaster strikes, you need a team you can trust. At Benchmark, we specialize in disaster recovery, construction, environmental remediation, and indoor air quality solutions. With over 30 years of experience, our experts provide forensic architecture, engineering, and environmental consulting to ensure every project is handled with precision and care. From damage assessment to full reconstruction, Benchmark delivers technical expertise and an unmatched client experience every step of the way. Visit benchmarkc3.com to learn more.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
This year, I made a New Year's resolution. I want every business to own a new copier from CTWP. Call me, Leroy the Copier Dog. Let's get you a copier delivered today. CTWP, your local copier company.
All right, welcome back to the program. This is the Tom Barfield Show. Glad to have you with us. And congratulations to Glenn Moore and Baylor softball. 3rd time in 4 years, 17th time overall. They're in the NCAA tournament. And Lark, I thought they were squarely on the fence, and they got in. You know, I say clearly, you never know, but I think the win in Lubbock, they won, 1 out of 3
they did
in Lubbock. Mm-hmm. But winning on the road in Lubbock, I think may have propelled them over the top. I don't know. And I know they lost to Tech in the Big 12 tournament, but that's still a nice win for Glenn Moore's team.
And they don't have to travel very far because they're going to Austin to
Yep.
play in the tournament there at Red McCombs Field. And if they should win that one, then they may not have to travel very far for the next round either, because A&M is who they're tied in with.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, 90 miles is 90 miles, right?
Yeah.
So 90 miles south, 90 miles southeast, whatever. So now, so the Baylor softball team will be headed to the regional. So congratulations to Glenn Moore. All right, tomorrow on the program here in our new studio, we'll visit with Bryce Cherry, the Waco Tribune Herald, and also Mike Lacey. Mike Lacey is a part of our family here at 365 Sports. He's based in Provo and covers BYU. So we'll visit with Mike on the program, and that'll be coming up tomorrow morning around 10:30. So looking ahead, Wednesday, Paul Catalina's got a new gig. We'll talk to him about that. Kyle Yeomans will be on the program. Mitch Thompson, the Baylor baseball coach, will join us from Salt Lake City. We'll be in Salt Lake City, and I think he will too. So we'll have Mitch on the program.
Cool.
I guess he'll be in the president's suite or whatever, and I'll be in the closet.
You can't go sit up in the president's suite with him?
No. So we'll have Toppy on the program. And then I'm not 100% sure what we got going Friday. I know that Chris Clemens, the Robinson baseball coach, will join us on the program. We may have to use a different – he dyed his hair.
Do what?
Listen, so you know how kids do. They'll dye their hair blonde, at the start of the playoffs.
Right.
And they said, Coach, are you going to do it? And he said, Chris. And, no. you know how he is.
Yeah.
Mr. Personality. But anyway, he said no, and he wasn't going to do it. And he said, you guys get to the third round and I'll do it. Well, guess what?
They got to the third
They
round.
got Lufkin Hudson this weekend. So today he had the secretary of the school dye his hair blonde.
Oh, boy.
Now, the secretary of the school happens to be my wife, who's a beautician.
Certified
Yeah,
beautician.
she knows how to do all
so
that.
knows how to do
I
that.
told her she ought to put like little streaks in it and stuff, maybe some permanent stuff in it. Wouldn't mind it. But anyway,
Make him prematurely gray.
yeah. So he starts Thursday. They start with Lufkin Hudson on Thursday night in Huntsville.
Huntsville.
Then they're going to take Friday off, and then they'll play 2 on Saturday.
Okay.
In Huntsville. So there you go. But anyway, he got his hair dyed blonde. He'll be on the program Friday morning. Not sure what we're doing in the rest of the program on Friday. We'll work on that today, I guess. But anyway, we appreciate your time. We ran a little long. Imagine that.
Yeah.
It's Monday, man. We had a lot to do today.
We did.
And many thanks to Eddie Cornblum for being a part of the program, and also to Ty Harrington. That's going to do it for us. Thanks to everyone who's been a part of the program. He's Lark. I'm Tom. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you tomorrow.